Yo, what is poppin', gang? What is good? This is Simple Black Theory, and today we are reacting to Donald Trump basically shutting down asylum seekers. He's shutting down, first of all, he already shut down the border. Now he's shutting down people who are seeking asylum or people who are trying to renew their visas or renew their green cards. Like, what the hell is he doing? It doesn't make any sense. But guess what? This is the America we live in. When we have an orange Cheeto, a Cheeto Puff. We have a Cheeto Puff basically telling us that we cannot have our people come to America. Or if our people was already here in America, they cannot renew their visas. Why? Because an Afghan man who lives in America attacked two National Guards. Yes, that is a tragic thing, and this is very sad, and violence is never the answer, but to blame a whole nation of people that is already displaced, that already has huge food insecurities, you're gonna blame them for one man's doing that more than likely didn't even leave. Whatever. You know what? We're going to be reacting to Fox News talking about this reporting, guys. If you do fuck with me, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you double tap. Show some love. If you're watching this anywhere else, thank you so much, guys. It means a lot. But do you like the new setup? Gang, do you like the new setup? I'm hoping you like the new setup. I'm really excited for this. Without further ado, let's get it started. Now, obviously, like I said, we are reacting to Fox News talking about the immigration, immigration being shut down completely, not just within the border, but with people trying to renew their visas and etc. So let's see what Fox News has to say today. They're usually on some BS, so.
Federal agencies to direct new immigration measures. We heard him speak about his issues about past vetting measures of migrants during the Biden administration. Take a listen.
There was no vetting or anything. They came in unvetted. And we have a lot of others in this country. We're going to get them out.
That's a lie. Yo, this man, I'm not gonna lie, he's a habitual liar. This man lies for a living. Yo, this man will wake up and he'll just like, what type of lie am I gonna give today? Because that's all he does. First of all, there's mad evidence to show that these 70,000 people that came from Afghanistan have been vetted. And the 3,000 Afghan individuals that helped America destroy Afghanistan, they were extremely vetted. In fact, the person that took the life of one of the National Guards, he was vetted by the Trump administration. In fact, on January 20th, Donald Trump released an executive order that in Section 2, in that executive order, he states that now they're going to be vetting people based on his requirements, based on his process that he created in his first term in office by January 19th. That was his last day in office. That was the measures that he was using to vet people. So now you're telling me that the vetting process doesn't work? That doesn't make any sense. But he sits here and he's telling you that Biden allowed people to enter with no vetting process. That makes no damn sense. This man, instead of being a president, he's over here trying to use the presidency as a tool to get vengeance on people. My nigga, we're broke. We need money. What the hell are you doing?
But they go cuckoo. Something happens soon.
That's racist as fuck. I'm sorry. Was that not racist? Let me play that back. I didn't hear what I hear. Gotta play that back.
Or anything. They came in unvetted. And we have a lot of others in this country. We're going to get them out. But they go cuckoo. Something happens soon.
Bro, that is one of the racist shit that I've ever heard. In fact, it's comparable to how people say that black people, when they listen to hip-hop music, they go crazy, right? Like, that doesn't make any sense. There's no historical evidence. There's no evidence at all that proves anything like this. But this man sits here in Palm Beach, not in the United States. Again, he is spending hundreds of thousands of government checks, of taxpayer money, to be in Palm Beach, because that's all he does. Play fucking golf and have Alzheimer's when it comes to the presidency. But whatever. He sits here and tells the Afghan people, that they go cuckoo out of nowhere. But he tell you why they go cuckoo. That doesn't make any sense. But we have to understand is that when we go to Afghanistan, we're seeing millions of people displaced. We're seeing food insecurities up the wazoo. We're seeing the Taliban do what they want to do. But Trump is saying that the Afghan people are cuckoo. No, they need help. Just like the people in Gaza, just like the people in Sudan, just like the people in Haiti. Yemen. But no, we're not talking about that. We're talking about, we're going to use one man, and compare him to everybody else. Just like when they do to black people. They see a black man attack a white woman at a subway, which is a sad incident. Violence. Again, I am not advocating for violence. And then they say, oh, black men are going to attack white women. I'm sorry, I haven't attacked one white woman yet. I'm going to be honest with you. Never have, never will. Is that baffling? Holy shit.
And the president directed his administration to immediately pause issuing visas to anyone traveling on an Afghan passport, as well as stop processing all immigration requests from
This doesn't make any sense. It's like they pick and choose when they want to do shit. First of all, didn't Donald Trump already stopped countries? Oh, no. They blocked that. They blocked that. Donald Trump had an executive order trying to ban countries from coming to America, and I think they blocked that. But why are you stopping visas from being issued? I thought Donald Trump was for HB1 visas. But now you're saying, first of all, why do you have to stop it? Your vetting process not well enough? Are you telling me that your own vetting process is trash? That you have to stop vetting people? That doesn't make any sense. And then we're going to look at how much money are we spending to vet everybody else that's here. Statistics already show that migrants don't even commit that much crime compared to native-born citizens. Excuse me, not native-born citizens, American-born citizens. There's a difference. There's a difference. But no, they want to blame the Biden administration, but it's their fault. It's their fault. If they're going to blame immigration, they have to blame it on themselves. But at the end of the day, it's not even immigration's fault. Just because one man did something terrifying, one man did something that was horrific, shouldn't mean that everyone else in the same demographic, in the same skin tone, in the same nationality, ethnicity should be punished for it. Because statistics shows that white men, we can talk about what white men do. Are we now going to say that white men are dangerous? No. We're not going to be saying that. Why? Because first of all, it goes against America's standard, right? We're protecting white men in America. Why would we banish them? Which I'm not calling for, obviously. But people are not understanding this.
Afghan nationals. Now, the directives go beyond the country. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services announced all asylum decisions will be put on hold until every person is vetted and screened. Now, a member of the Senate and Armed Services Committee is defending this increased vetting of those from Afghanistan.
Betty's a Republican.
We even have reports where people are traveling back to Afghanistan and coming back to the United States.
Bullshit. Bullshit. There is no way that these individuals are going back to Afghanistan. Especially when we're talking about that man who did that horrific attack. There's no way he would have went to Afghanistan. Why? Because he's wanted by the Taliban. There's a reason why he's here. There's a reason why he's here. Because when America was in Afghanistan fucking shit up, they needed people to help communicate. So there was people in Afghanistan that helped, and the Taliban didn't like that. So obviously they had to come to America in order to be saved. But no, they're not going to tell you that. They're going to lie.
If they leave and they're able to enter into Afghanistan, which is a Taliban-held country at this point, and able to get back out on their own, they're probably compromised.
So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. We know that the man that did that horrific crime in D.C., that took the life of that one woman who was part of the National Guard, we know that he was able to, his asylum was accepted in April of 2025. That means that Donald Trump administration was the ones that vetted him. Are you telling me that he was able to go to Afghanistan between 2022 and 2025, come back, seek asylum in 2024 of December, and get it in April of 2025 by the Trump administration? Do you know the process of seeking asylum? On the website, I think there's 7 steps, and 3 or 4 out of the 7 steps require verification, interviewing, and vetting process of the individual. Are you telling me that the Trump administration didn't do his job in vetting him when he went back to Afghanistan if that's such a fucking problem? There's an echo? Holy cannoli. Has it been an echo the whole time? Oh, man. Give me a second, gang. Give me a second. Chat, is there an echo? We still hear an echo? Damn, I wasn't paying attention to the chat. So we good? Damn. So I can't even drop this video. I can't even drop this because there was an echo. It's all good. It's all good. Were you guys able to understand what I was saying, though? Were you guys able to understand what I was saying before? Or do I have to run it back? Okay. We getting a lot of yeses. Okay, all right. So let's get back to where we was. And don't get me wrong, we're gonna have more live streams every day. I'm gonna have my partner with me, and she's going to be reacting with me, and we're gonna be talking about this. And guys, so let's get back to work. Oh no! That was just a chat. It was nothing crazy. That was just a chat, gang. That was the chat. All right, let's get back to this foolishness.
And Kevin, in other news, President Trump posted on Truth Social that any executive order or document signed by President Joe Biden with an auto pen is no longer effective. So he does.
Holy fuck. I'm sorry. Gang, that makes no sense. Donald Trump cannot void everything that was signed with an auto pen. That doesn't make any sense. First of all, he doesn't have that power. The only thing that he can void are executive orders. That is the only thing this motherfucker can void. This nigga cannot void anything else. Because, let's be honest, what else can he void? If there was legislation that was passed, Congress was the one that helped pass that. So if he signed it into law, Congress would have to revoke it, not the president. So the only thing Donald Trump can fucking revoke is executive orders. But you know why he wants to revoke these auto pens? The pardons. He wants to get rid of the pardons because he wants to attack a lot of people. Although he's fucking failing, as you can see with Letitia James and James Comey, this nigga's ass. But I digress. Let's keep it going.
He does remain pretty busy between rounds of golf and spending time with his family here in Palm Beach.
I bet.
I'll say, and that is par for the course for this president. Dana Marie, thank you so much. I am pleased to be joined.
Why do every black conservative man have a haircut like that? Like, my guy, that's a helmet. Is his tape not low as fuck? That is not a crispy haircut, gang. That is not a crispy haircut.
Joined now by former acting ICE director and former federal prosecutor and friend of the program, Jonathan Fahey. Let me ask you first, before we dive into the whole immigration migration thing, I just want just a tiny bit of clarification on the auto pen circumstance. The White House feels very strongly that this is something that's specifically carved out for the president himself to execute. And in this case, it looks an off.
That doesn't make any sense. If Donald Trump is able to avoid anything that had to do with auto pen with Joe Biden, then that means that any other president can do the same thing with any other auto pen. The auto pen was not created when Joe Biden was president. The auto pen was created since what, the 1800s? It was used. I think Obama used it. Trump admitted that he used it. Well, what he said, that motherfucker said, yeah, I used it, but for unimportant documents. My nigga, any signature that the president's name has to be on it is an important document. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm pretty sure your name on anything requires taxpayer money. So don't sit here and say that you just use it for unimportant paperwork, because there's a good chance it's fucking important. In fact, you guys have been grilling on the Biden administration that's already done about everything else. So yes, everything's important when you fucking sign it, Mr. President. So no, you cannot just stop auto pens for Biden. You can do it with everyone fucking else.
A lot like there are staffers doing it and other people inside the administration. That would seem to make these auto pen executive orders and commutations null and void. Do I have that right?
Well, I think, yeah, the real issue is, did Joe Biden know these were being signed, and did he authorize people to sign them? Because
Oh my gosh. One more. Can we get one more womp? Chat. I need y'all to look at me for a minute. I need y'all to look at me for a minute before I continue. Because I need you guys to understand something when I say this. Donald Trump wants to be a dictator. He wants to be a dictator. What he is saying is dictator antics. Him, as the president, who does not have the power to void laws, to void anything outside executive orders, wants to void pardons and commutations. He also wants to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell. This man is running like a dictator. And before you be like, how is he acting like a dictator? He's the president. Guys, are we forgetting about the mustache? Mustache man. You know how he became dictator? Was because he was chancellor and took over that shit. He changed the laws. That is what Donald Trump is doing. This is when you heard, what's that motherfucker's name again? When you heard Stephen Miller look in the camera and said that Donald Trump has plenary authority. He is taking the laws and is mixing it up to what they fucking want. So when Donald Trump tells you that he wants to shut down the auto pen on Biden, then he says that he wants to shut down the border, and then he wants to shut down the asylum seekers and shut down the green card holders, he is shutting down America. That is a dictator. Are you hearing what I'm saying? None of this is going to fucking fix America. Let's look at what he did in the past 10 months and tell me if I'm wrong. Can we all agree that Donald Trump had the lowest apprehension rate, had the lowest immigration coming through the border than any other president? Can we all agree that? Donald Trump shut down the border. We all can agree. Okay, we agree with that. Can we also agree that Donald Trump says that if he does this, America will be in its golden age? He told us that if he does this, America is going to be more affordable. Housing is going to be more affordable. That groceries is going to be more affordable. Energy bill is going to be more affordable. None of that shit is happening. None of that shit is happening. You tell me where it's happening. Let's look at it. Let's look at electricity bills. The average electricity bill is up $260. Holy fuck, that's expensive. The average groceries on a weekly basis is over $200. Donald Trump is talking about how Walmart is able to lower groceries for Thanksgiving. Yeah, because they want to make a fucking profit. They want to make a fucking profit. They don't want to fuck up the holidays for themselves because they're already losing money. Because you fucked it up. But guess what? We're having more people holiday shopping now, way before Black Friday, because they know they can't afford it. In fact, more people are buying less. Why do you think, what is it? Papa John's? No, Pizza Hut. Dying. These fast food restaurants are dying. McDonald's literally just released a report saying that they're losing their low-income customers. Since when was fast food expensive? Holy fuck! This nigga told you that things are gonna get cheaper if he lowers tariffs. Sounds like you're the reason why it's expensive. I'm yapping too much. Let's get back to the motherfucking program. Gang, if you fucking with the program, hold on. If you fucking with the program, make sure you double tap the screen. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow. Make sure you show some love. Because we talking about it today. Let's get back to the program.
Because you can delegate that. But I think that's a really good question. And think about this. If Joe Biden were to change his will in the last couple of years, and God forbid he passes away down the road, do you think the family members that got cut out of that will wouldn't be complaining, saying this guy didn't have...
That's a stupid comparison. What the fuck does the will, a personal thing of a person, have to do with documents that have to do with America? I don't give a fuck what Joe Biden will looks like. I don't give a fuck what Joe Biden will looks like. If you have evidence that Joe Biden Joe Biden's administration was using an auto pen without Joe Biden having any clarification on anything, that's important. But a will, I don't give a fuck about. I don't give a fuck. That's not the same. And you're a lawyer? You're a lawyer in a blue suit? You look like a blue Barney. I'm sorry. That's mean. That's mean. We're not trying to be mean. We're not trying to be mean. I just,
have any idea what was going on? And of course they would. So this is certainly a legitimate thing to look into. And the fact when you combine that with his overall, at least appearance of cognitive issues at the end of his presidency, it's certainly a legitimate issue.
And we're talking about thousands, Jonathan. On top of that, we do know that there were staff members who said, yes, I did act on behalf of the president, but we don't have any proof for that. I mean, was there an email?
You can do that. That's not legal. A person can act on behalf of the president as long as the president knows to sign the document with the auto pen. Again, numerous presidents has done it, including your fucking favorite Donald Trump, who literally has admitted to using it. So if I run for president and win, what I'm gonna say? I'm not gonna lie. That motherfucker was a nutcase. I don't trust that he was cognitively there when he made these decisions, and whatever he used the auto pen, I need to question that. Null and void. The one big beautiful bill, null and void. The fuck? What else? Technically, that's the Lincoln Riley Act, null and void. They only signed like 3 or 4 bills during his first run. The fuck, he signed more executive orders than fucking bills. Like,
trail did he say specifically? And again, if he is if he's interviewed and he is not forthright and honest about what happened, he could find himself in legal jeopardy, could he not?
Yeah, I think that's a very good point, and I think they really should keep digging into this. I'd love to hear Joe Biden interviewed and say, "Tell us about these pardons. Why did you issue?"
guys, look at me. Hold up. I know. Why does he keep changing the camera? Why does he keep saying, look at me? Because I want to look at the chat as well when I say this. Look at me when I say this, guys. Look at me when I say this. Do you know why Donald Trump is not in jail? Presidential immunity. Whatever he does as president, he cannot get in trouble for. So why the fuck would Joe Biden get in trouble if he too has presidential immunity? Let's just say all of this shit is true. Let's just say this motherfucker Joe Biden was using the auto pen without his knowledge and everyone else was doing it for him. That's fucking wrong. But the nigga has presidential immunity. We know this because Donald Trump used it to get off the insurrection. So if this is true, this nigga has presidential immunity. It don't fucking matter. Holy guacamole. I need to stop cursing. So it doesn't matter. I mean, it matters, but he's not going to get prosecuted for it. So why are you bitching? Why are we spending taxpayer money on this bitching situation? Blue Barney bitching, and I'm sorry. It gets ridiculous.
This one or that one and see if he has really any recollection of doing these pardons, because you can't just simply
and that's why they want to do it. The pardons. They want to get rid of the pardons. Remember, Joe Biden pardoned a lot of people. He pardoned a lot of people, I believe, that was involved with the investigation of the insurrection. He pardoned his son Hunter Biden. He pardoned a lot of people. First of all, he pardoned them in the end of his presidency, and I'm pretty sure he was a lot more cognitive when people exposed his ass for not being cognitive. He was like, "Oh, I'm here." So there's proof that he was a lot more active in the end of his presidency, but at the end of the day, he doesn't need to sign shit to pardon people. You know that, right? He doesn't really need to sign it to pardon these motherfuckers. Technically. So what the fuck are they talking about? Again, Fox News is not a real news source.
Delegate to a staff member, say, sign anything you want. You could say, I agree with this and it's okay to sign on my behalf, but that's the real distinction here. And I would
What do you mean? That's just hearsay. Like what do you want them to do? Look through their whole bullshit and say, yes, look, this is what I told them yesterday. Like first of all, get the fuck out of here. Like this. I'm sorry for pausing so much.
If he really was informed and had consent to having all of these pardons that were entered into at the very, very end.
Yeah, it's going to make for a very interesting legal battle.
It's not going to go nowhere.
Down the road. Want to obviously talk about the D.C. shooting. Laura Burns, I thought, laid this out fairly clearly. This vetting, people keep talking about, well, he was vetted. This person was vetted, that person was vetted. You have to understand, Jonathan, vetting is one day. Who knows what happened days later? Listen to the sound, get your reaction.
So what was the vetting process that occurred prior to April when Ramanula was able to get his asylum seeking? He was able to seek asylum. Where was the vetting practice then? And let's be honest, I think he had a clean record. He had a clean record. Something radicalized him in fucking America. It radicalized him in fucking America. And the FBI is trash. They're trash. And they're like if Ramanula was being radicalized in America and he came from Washington State all the way to Washington, D.C., let's be honest, Kash Patel want to act like fucking Superman, why you didn't stop him? Let's be honest. MAGA wants to act like every other person than Donald Trump needs to be Superman in this situation. For example, the man that unfortunately took that Ukrainian woman's life, who had I think dozens of arrests, or that other man who set that woman on fire, who had dozens of prior arrests. Like, a lot of these arrests, and I don't know the latter, but a lot of these arrests are arrests that you cannot detain someone for years and years and years, for a lifetime. If someone gets to a fight or abuse somebody, that doesn't mean they should be there for a lifetime. Yes, these are horrific crimes, and you might hate me for this, guys. I am an avid believer in abolishing the prison system, even for monsters that are serial attackers, rapists. I don't think the prison system works. I think we need a better system to do this. Now, I'm not saying that, we don't need a system that's going to, not, I don't even say punish, but give the consequences that needs to be given to these individuals, like a rapist. Obviously, I'm not saying that they should not be, there shouldn't be any consequence. They shouldn't be away from children. They should be away from children. But we also need to have some examinations. They also need to be some counseling, some therapy work. You feel me? Some real understanding. But shoving them in a room for years. First of all, let's be honest. The system doesn't even do that. Am I lying? Chat, am I lying? The system doesn't even put these people in prison for a long time. The system don't even put these people in prison for a long time. These guys get out. Let's look at Jeffrey Epstein. They get out. So why not build a system that not only betters our world, but betters the people that we're trying to fix? I don't want to say fix, rehabilitate. Excuse me. Doesn't that make fucking sense? Again, I'm not saying you do the crime, you get out and you get to live your life. No. There should be some consequence. But within that consequence, there should be some real rehabilitation. We shouldn't say, you should eat shitty food. No. No, we're all human at the end of the day. And yes, some of us do horrible shit. I'm not gonna lie. I might be singing a different tune if one of my family members lose their life. But if I'm a real nigga, I won't sing that different tune. And I'm as real as it can be. We need rehabilitation. We don't need to shove somebody for years in prison and they rot, and then in the next 10 years, there's someone just like them. We're missing all the fucking signs. But we're sitting here and complaining about other people. Donald Trump don't have to be fucking Superman. You just have to be fucking Superman. Donald Trump can make the mistakes. You can't, though. If you make a fucking mistake, that's your ass. Donald Trump could chill with Jeffrey Epstein and become fucking president. Is that not fucking nuts? One day, chill with Jeffrey Epstein, become president the next. I'm starting to think, if Jeffrey Epstein wasn't caught, would he have run for presidency? And how far he would have went? Stop playing with me, man. We over here listening to this, to niggas talking about some stupid shit. We're not focusing on reality. The reality is, Donald Trump is not making America better. Donald Trump is lying to you. He said America's going to be shit if the borders closed. And there was a pew-pewing in D.C. by someone who has asylum that was given by the Trump administration. He can't be Superman. Biden has to be Superman, though. It's not Trump's fault that the Trump administration accepted him. It's Biden's fault for allowing him here in the first place. We're not asking how was he radicalized. We're not asking that. We're not asking how deep was he in the CIA. We're not asking none of that. Lock the fuck in, man. Matter of fact, Lock in, fuck niggas.
Matter of fact.
Lock in, fuck niggas.
Matter of fact.
Lock in, fuck niggas.
Stop playing with me. Double tap the screen, subscribe, make sure you hit the follow button, show some motherfucking love. We are reacting to Fox News saying some stupid shit. And guys, we do this every day. We don't have a time. I do have a co-host, my lovely co-host, Maya Moss. Unfortunately, she is not here because we are doing this kind of late. But we do this every day, gang. So if you love this, make sure you show up. Make sure you hit that notification button on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. I'm going to let you know I'm going on live. And we going to drop this every night. Let's get it.
On the other side.
But the ability to
oh my God.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
She's giving Roger from what's that TV show, gang? What's that TV show? American Dad? You know, oh my gosh, I am terrible. I am going on a tangent, gang. Listen, I gotta tell you this joke. Cause this is funny. She looks like Roger from American Dad. Now in American Dad, Roger, when he's in his makeup, or I'm gonna say they, when they're in their makeup, when they're in their getup, they look like a person, and people cannot see that Roger is an alien, right? But in the family knows Roger the alien, but certain outfits you do not know who Roger is. So for Stan, it's this girl he had a crush on. So when Stan sees Roger in that outfit, he does not know that's Roger. Gang. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that not Roger? Is that not Roger? I'm sorry. All right, that's enough bullying.
In that chaotic environment was extremely difficult because of the naming conventions that were in Afghanistan. Some individuals used first name only. There were lacks of date of birth. There were lacks of identification documents. And so when you're talking about thousands of people fleeing violence and flooding onto planes.
If that's true, first of all, the visas that the individuals were given were to up to 2 years. So from 2022, 23, 24, their visas end in 2024. And I think it ends near the end of 2024. This is why we see Ramanullah was able to, I think his visa ended September. So it might have ended between September to the end, well, near the end of 2024. We know this for sure. So, and Donald Trump became president in 2025. So if this is true, that means that these individuals, some of them, because Ramanullah did it. Ramanullah seeked for asylum. And we're in the middle of a mass deportation. Why didn't the Trump administration find these people? These people were here for more than 2 years. Why haven't they done anything crazy during the Biden administration? Do they think Trump is soft? Is they calling Trump a bitch? Because I'm confused. Why would they decide to do something now during the Trump administration? Because Trump says that niggas are scared of him. But in his first administration, we had more terrorist attacks in America. He says niggas was scared of him. This is why we had the unfortunate attack on Gaza. Was because Trump wasn't president, remember? But now we have these attacks and it's not Trump's fault. Whatever, I'm just yapping now.
We weren't prepared.
Yeah, we weren't prepared. And look at the picture. People crammed on an aircraft. Who knows who these people are?
Yeah, they snuck in that aircraft, all right. I in that video, I seen one of them crack open one of the evacuation ducts, whatever, and snuck in that bitch and closed it back up, and made the 70,001 person. We documented 70,000, but there's 70,001 because look at them cramming into that airplane as it's leaving. Holy fuck, they're dumb.
Exactly. And this idea that you could have even vetted them in any meaningful way, they're simply just running people through databases. And it's not like you're going to get the all clear from the Taliban to say this person's perfectly safe. So it's really just almost a perfunctory performance.
The Taliban wants them gone. I'm pretty sure they would say they're not safe so they can have their ass. Because that's the reason why majority of them had to leave, was because the Taliban was going to attack them. Whatever, guys. I am about to end this stream pretty soon, guys. I want to thank you so much for joining this stream, guys. We had over 600 people, 602 people on this live stream, guys. I appreciate this so much. I'm hoping you guys enjoyed this live stream. Any questions, comments, concerns, make sure you email me, DM me. I answer DMs. I try to answer DM, guys. Some DMs I sometimes read it and want to answer and I forget. But thank you so much, guys, for checking out this this live stream podcast. We're trying here. We are going to be back on here again tomorrow with my significant other, my co-host, Maya Moss. I'm excited for that, guys. Again, thank you so much for being here.